welcome to Kelvedon Park for the Lakoseljac Cup between Taroona and Olympia Warriors. It is a windswept and rainy Kelvedon Park, and there is a little bit of contention here at the moment. The far touchline has not been painted. It's very hard to see, and at the moment the refs are just deciding what the course of action will be. There's no guarantee that the game will kick off on time, so it's being sorted out at the moment. The refs are discussing things, so we'll let you know as soon as we have an update there, but certainly it is really from afar, it's impossible to see. Up close it's difficult to see. So certainly an auspicious start here at Kelvedon Park. We'll let you know when we get confirmation the game will start on time. It's meant to start in a minute, but I think there's almost certainly going to be some delay while this is sorted out. There's a few ideas being thrown around the game, could well be moved. We will let you know as soon as possible. In the meantime, I've got the team sheets for you, and for Taroona, their starting 11: Ayres, Cherry, Darling, Gale, Hasselwood, McGregor, Marsh, Sharp, Stevens, Tubb and Young. On the bench is Carey, Dordain, Kelly, Lutner and O'Donovan. Olympia, well, there's been plenty of discussion about them in the pre-season. Some big signings made, some big money spent, and their big guns are out there in the starting 11 today if we do get underway, and we'll let you know if that happens. At the moment, they're still in discussion in the technical area. Olympia players look ready and they want to get underway. The Taroona boys are keen, but the referees are not so much. We'll get you the starting lineup for Olympia in just a second. Jacob Collard, Zachary Drake, Shay Hickey, Gavin Hoy, Nicholas Mearns, Spiro Paradisus in goals. The big recruit, Borbor Sam, Joel Samet, Lawrence Shruma, Jake Vandermeer and Warren Wadawu. So a very strong Olympia starting lineup here should the game get underway. And it really is awful conditions for a game of football, to put it bluntly. It's windy, it's cold, plenty of rain, so it's not going to be easy. We saw last year Olympia almost coming unstuck up against University, a lower division team, on a similar type of pitch and similar type of weather, despite having the big guns. So will we see a similar shock today? Damien Gill will be joining me in commentary shortly. He's just sorting out this line issue, and I think they've decided they're going to play, but it's not going to be on time, and we'll have an update for you shortly. And indeed, the players are being called in, so we'll get on this. It looks like the game's been moved. I'll just get confirmation on that for you. Gilly, not happening? You know where they're moving it? And indeed, the game has been called off for here. It's likely that it's going to be moved somewhere close by. We'll get back to you with an update there, but we can confirm the game will not take place here. We'll let you know the result, but the game will not be played at Kelvedon Park. We'll let you know as soon as we hear anything. So, bye for now. Okay, so the announcement is the game is going to be moved to KG5 with a 3:30 kickoff. So that's around about 90 minutes from now. The game has been officially moved to KG5 at 3:30. And obviously not an ideal situation, but with the line really not visible on the far side, the referees have decided not to host the game here. So KG5 at 3:30. Yeah, it is. It's not nothing with us.
Test 1, 2.
Obviously, here, and I'll take Welcome to KG5 Football Park for this afternoon's Lakoseljac Cup round of 16 clash between Taroona and Olympia FC Warriors. We were meant to be down at Kelvedon Park, but unfortunately the line markings weren't up to scratch for the adjudicating referees. They weren't happy with the standards, and the game has been luckily moved to KG5 this afternoon for what should be an entertaining clash between a star-studded Olympia and the Taroona side that doesn't mind being a giant killer. Over recent times, they've definitely given themselves a good account up against much highly fancied opponents. I'm Damien Gill from FFT, bringing this one live to you with my partner in crime, the big Drewster Rooster, Andrew Cooling. Drewy.
Good to be here as always, Gilly, and certainly a slightly delayed start, but I don't think Olympia will mind too much going from what was a bit of a bog of a pitch to the smooth surface here at KG5, where their passing game really should come to the fore a lot more. So whilst their pre-game's been disrupted, I think they'd be the happier of the two teams with this move.
Yeah, look, it's a bit disappointing for Taroona. Obviously, home ground advantage. You get drawn out of the pot first. You want to use that home ground advantage, but unfortunately, the referee just wasn't comfortable with the situation. And in those times, I think you've just got to listen to the ref and get on with it, and that's what they're doing. And luckily, KG5 is available, so they've still got a neutral venue at least to play in. But I guess, unfortunately for Taroona, it's probably the venue Olympia play their best football on, especially with a bit of moisture on the pitch as it has at the moment with a bit of rain, and it's going to flow nicely. And I tell you what, I'm looking forward to seeing this Olympia side go about it. There's some fresh faces in there, and They are a talented bunch. Speaking to George Marcus just below, he said we've probably got the best team on paper. Whether we have the best team chemistry-wise yet, we won't know. But in terms of talent, they are stacked, Drewy.
Absolutely, some big new signings. They have been the talk of the pre-season Olympia. They may have won the title last season, but they're not content with that. Marcus targeting even bigger things with his signings, apparently, setting his sights on the national trophies, and the first step towards that is today with the Lakoseljac Cup, offering that qualification spot to the FFA Cup, and this is the first step on that journey for the Olympia Warriors, and certainly an exciting day to see how these new signings gel. Some real offensive talent in this lineup, and I'm really looking forward to watching him. And Taroona coming in as underdogs. They have been giant killers before, but they've really got their work cut out for them today, you'd have to think.
Yeah, definitely agree, Rooster. Might just go through Taroona's lineup as it eventually loads. There's a rather happy University coach, Jez Singh, just strolls up the aisle,
Very happy, man.
Fresh off just getting the job done over Northern Rangers. He's got a real spring in his steppers, Jez. G'day, mate.
Big victory. Will Taroona be able to follow suit and cause the upset? Certainly a very tough ask for them. But that did show that these lower league teams, there's certainly some talent in them.
The issue Taroona might have is their coach isn't rocking a fedora, and that might be Jez Singh's secret. He's got a mean little fedora.
A bit of the
type.
Vince Lombardi type setup going on there, I think.
Very, very nice on top of the dome. Both teams preparing to come out. We'll go through the Taroona lineup. Number 11, Bradley Ayres. Number 1, James Cherry in goal. Number 10, Will Darling. Number 12, Phil Gale. Number 3, Michael Hazelwood. Number 8, Hamish McGregor. He's a very talented player, McGregor. He probably could play his trade in an NPL club if he really, really wanted to. And Jackson Marsh, number 16. Ben Sharp, number 5, in the heart of defence. Jeremy Stevens, number 4. Lewin Tubb, number 17. And Tom Young, number 9, who, of course, is pretty much, I'd say, 80% of the pre-season for all money going to Hobart Zebras. So he is a player of immense talent, and he will operate in midfield. Bruce, you can talk us through the star-studded Warriors.
Well, I can, and we've obviously in goals got Spiro Paradises, who was the backup last year, but still played a large role in that title push. He had a fair run of games in the team with Sean Lewis injured, and he's a reliable backup between the sticks, and he will get the starting job today. It's a star-studded lineup, as you say. Jacob Collard, perhaps one of the big players we're keen to have a look at. He's certainly got much hype around him. Certainly comes from big pedigree. We're looking forward to seeing him. Zachary Drake, the Canadian import. No shortage of imports in this team. Shea Hickey, star of the game down here for a long time, the best and fairest winner last year, just a stalwart in the midfield, and he'll be partnered in there by Gavin Hoy, probably another talented Canadian player who showed his class last year. We know all about him. Nicholas Mearns, one of the more underrated players in the competition for mine. Mearns, a really good pass through the ball, really turns it over, just does all the basics really well. Borbor Sam, well, he was the talk of the town for a good week there before a few more imports joined him, but one of the biggest signings in Tasmanian footballing history. He's been dubbed. Joel Samut, another one there. Lawrence Sharuma, and then a couple of the regulars from last year in Jake Van der May, the centre half, and Warren Waterwoo, an electric winger. No shortage of attacking talent in this lineup, Gilly.
Yeah, you're dead right. Lawrence Sharuma and Borbor Sam reportedly have just unbelievable chemistry. String passes together all day long. I'm really looking forward to seeing the two operate. It's just an embarrassment of riches for Olympia. Of course, a big game today. They really want to press on into those national tournaments. They need to get the job done today. And then on Friday, they've got to back it up and play South Hobart in a mouth-watering season opener. So two big clashes, and they'll be looking to tick off the first one here. I'd expect Gavin Hoy to operate out wide on the left, ball maybe centrally, and Darwin on the other wing. It really is an unbelievable strike force that they've got at their disposal.
Interestingly, it looks like Nick Mearns is lining up at centre-back today, and not something we've seen too often in the past, but we've seen plenty of players of his mould playing in that centre-half position before. Obviously, they're a real passing team, Olympia. So we get underway. How will this team gel? It's going to be interesting to see. They've got good conditions here. despite a very murky day, it's a real improvement on where we were an hour and a half ago. A bog, it was windy, it was rainy. It's reasonable conditions here, and obviously the pitch at KG5 never going to be an issue as they just control the ball a bit early. Van der May will stroke it across to Mearns, and Olympia's style last year was very much one just to patiently probe, move the ball around. They've got the capital to do it, and certainly these Perth Glory imports will be looking to get at a Taroona defence that wouldn't have come across an opposition like this too often in the past. Certainly a lot of these players wouldn't have played against attackers of this calibre before.
Definitely not, Drewster. Agree with 100% of what you just said, despite hearing none of it. Just ran downstairs to turn off a speaker that was left on. Sharuma picks it up, goes to Collard. Now, Drewster, I know this is a pet peeve of yours. A number 9. Wearing 9 when he's looks like he's playing defensive midfield.
He should be up top. Not happy with it. If you're a number 9, you should be up top. You should not be operating defensive midfield. With the attacking talent this Olympia side has, why are you designating the number 9 to a defensive midfielder? I don't understand it, and it might prove their undoing as they move the ball forward here. Gavin Hoy on the ball. This looks like he's got just ages on the ball. Shea Hickey plays a quick one too, and let's see, already standing out there.
Big Sharuma.
Sharuma.
Doing as he pleases. Interesting to see Mearns back in the heart of defence.
Centre back, as we touched on.
Yeah.
It's maybe the Michael Carrick type theory there. Defensive kind of midfielders. Maybe feel they're going to possess the ball as Hoy turns with the ball. He's immediately corralled, looks to turn onto the right, cuts it back to Sam. Here's a chance. He fires, but the shot's blocked immediately. Surrounded by shirts, but they don't want to give him too much time and space in the box. As Van der May will shift it out to the left, and is there a foul there? The referee says play on. Bit of a push and shove. Here's ball Sam on the ball. Immediately draws a crowd. Hickey with a rare miscontrol there, very uncharacteristic of him. As Olympia continue just to probe, and that's a really poor turnover, but gifted straight back to them there by Taroona.
Nice ball there from Mearns, but it's swept away from Taroona. It's with Lewin Tubb. We'll look inside. Finds Darling. He gifts it straight back to a blue shirt and Hickey. He'll shift it wide. It's with Dawu. Zach Drake, the Canadian, his first match for Olympia FC Warriors. Arrived quite some time ago, but took a while to clear. Ball Sam very casually just plods it down the left flank to Samet and then to Chiruma. What can he do here? Tries to weasel his way into the box. Sharp's there to see it clear, and he does so, and out for a throw in.
Interesting to see. It looks like Gavin Hoy lining up as a striker. Saw it a couple of times last year. Not really got the physical stature that most centre forwards would have. But I suppose they're going to be counting on possessing the ball a lot and relying on the intricate little inch play around the box to break this Taroona team down, who you'd expect will defend pretty deep.
I guess with Olympia now, as Shea Hickey fashions a shot, it flies wide to the right, fairly tame. He generally saves himself for maybe one shot a year, Shea Hickey, so he'd be quite annoyed that one didn't go in the back of the net and get him a PlayStation 4 for goal of the year, because I'm pretty sure he only shot once last year, and it literally was a screamer from about 4 billion yards. What were we talking? Hoy. I think with this Olympia FC Warriors team, with such an embarrassment of riches, they're going to really experiment, and the team's going to change quite a bit depending on who they actually come up against. Hoy, I wouldn't expect too much at centre forward. I'd see him on the wing quite a bit as Young tries to get on the end of it. Inside, Taroona's attacking half. Paradise is far from convincing with a clearance. He's there to claim it. He does so. He's collected by an opposing player. He's down for the count here, Paradisus. He's not happy.
Spiro, he's hit the deck and he's stayed down.
Here comes the physio.
He's up in the air, with the ball.
Ooh.
Put it in the side there.
I reckon he's caught one.
Trouble.
I honestly reckon he's caught one in the goalies there. I reckon he has. If you go back to the replay, watch where the ball lands. Ash, I'll put you under the pump again. Ask for a super slow-mo. Not quite as slow as yesterday's. Here we go.
Super slow-mo yesterday.
I think it's still playing as it's coming in. Here we go, Paradisus. Goes to claim it. He's caught one there, and watch where the ball lands. Ouch. Whack.
Yeah, good spot. Good
Whack.
spot. And he has got up very gingerly.
Yeah, look. He'll be right. It's even still.
He's clasping the shoulder, though, so...
that's just a disguise.
It's a disguise, you reckon?
Fooling no one there, Paradisus. With Moons now.
Drake goes
steer
back
it.
to Burns. Across to Vandermeer. They've really been patient with their build-up so far. There's a fairly strong breeze that they're kicking into, so perhaps keeping the ball on the deck is going to be the real focus of their play.
Bit of carpet football, and on this slick surface that is KG5, why not?
Absolutely. Again, just patiently stroking back here. In front of this time. Trying to forcing the turnover there. Got a fairly defensive setup. The back four and three midfielders sitting very deep here. Here's Hoy. Really a natural at holding the ball up, but he's done well there, and there's slightly misplaced pass, but Drake will get up onto it rather than Hickey, who's now advancing into the box. Goes back, and the shot's going to come from range, but that's never testing the keeper, and a rather optimistic effort to say the least, that one. Taroona will be happy for them to shoot from there all day long, really. Maybe just want to try one more pass as we go back to that Shea Hickey shot, which is well and truly wide, but has got a cannon when he does decide to shoot.
Yeah, he feels like it every 6 months or so.
Just a reminder
Yeah,
to
exactly
rival
right.
teams that you've got to respect my shot. Don't sit off me too fast.
Let them know he's there. So Cherry will look to bring this back out. Sweet cherry pie, out it goes. Long and strong beyond halfway. It's Darling that contests. And manages to pick it up just before it crosses the line. And Samet has a few choice words. You're about half his height, champion. Very, very brave stuff from the youngster. Comes to him now. Looks inside with a shimmy and a shake. He runs down that left-hand side to Ball Sam. In for his former Perth Glory teammate, Collard. To Hickey, who goes long. A dipping ball that almost goes over the top of the Taroona defence, but Taroona can't bring it under his spell. And it rolls out of play just in front of Olympia's technical area. Throw in now. There's one in the air by Young. Mearns, an unconvincing clearance that comes down with snow on it. To Young. Finds McGregor. Sharuma up to the task. Wins for Olympia. Comes from Wadawi back to Sharuma.
Fair shout for an advantage there, I'd have thought.
I would have thought so. They were getting it moving there, Olympia, and now it's played from Collard quickly to Sharuma. It's a nice ball that picks out with Dawu from the byline. What can he do? He fires off a shot, and it's wide and out to the left. Out for a throw-in eventually. Just couldn't bend it back on target from the byline. It was a square ball, and it flew wide of goal, and Cherry had nothing to do.
Sublime ball from Sharuma to play him in, though, just dissecting the gap that very few players would have been able to do there, and you see the value of the import, the class that he's got, the ability to pick a pass. It's going to be a real key element to how this Olympia side is lining up, because he's playing the 10 role despite the number 11 on the back of his shirt at the moment. You've got Sam out on the left and Waterwoo on the right, just playing in behind Gavin Hoy, so very impressive front for that. Mearns at centre back is perhaps the surprise of this Olympia lineup. Obviously, they've had a bit of a change of personnel. No Alex Holmes, who's of course been a stalwart in that centre back position for such a long time.
The Cutler's missing. Wish him well in his recovery from a knee injury. I think he's going in for a second bout of surgery, so it's not what you want to see. Mearnsy now just strolling away. Plenty of space to operate in. Finds with Dawu, back for Mearns. He's got Collard offering. He finds him. Dips up on Collard. He's got three white shirts closing in. They actually give him a bit of time and space. Finds Mearns. Back for Drake. Hotline bling, switches out to the left. Finds Vandermeer.
He said he was Canadian too.
Samet down the wing. Looking for Sam. Here he goes. Ball with that pineapple hairdo. Whips it into the front post. It's brought down from Hoy. Can he spin and shoot? Looks to drop it off for Sharuma. They scurry clear to Taroona. They're away now on the right-hand side. It's Lewin Tubb. Shea Hickey, superb, comes over and cuts it off, and Might be a quick counter the other way as Ball Sam's on the ball. He cuts in, finds some space, looks for Wadawu. A wobbly effort from Wadawu, but he does enough to get it back to Mearns. He looks to just thread the needle, but it's blocked. Away for Sam. There's a real swagger about him. Never looks in a hurry.
10 minutes in, and it's abundantly clear what this Taroona game plan is, and there's the good old-fashioned parking of the bus.
I don't mind the old PTB.
And looking solid so far, but can they survive a full 90 minutes? We'll see as Hoy plays it in and finds its way through to Wadawu, but he's turned it over, and this is where Taroona have got to try and find something on the break. It's going to be a lot of that direct long ball game, I think, because they've got these 2 banks of 4, and then a number 10 and a number 9 up top, and really they're not going to expect a whole lot of support because they're going to fill the gaps. You can see they've essentially got 3 defensive midfielders in this setup. It's going to be tough to break down, so getting at them from wide areas could be the key. And here is Ball Sam. Keep run at them again, shows his skills. Plays it central. Here's Collard. Goes across. And the cross will come in. The keeper should be able to claim this one easily enough. And he does. And then we'll leave the pressure. And so far holding up pretty well, this Taroona defence.
Yeah, Cherry really, that bright, what would you even call it, highlight orange type setup.
Well, it's supposedly psychology. It puts it in the striker's eye line.
Right, okay.
They're more likely to hit at them.
Well, there you go.
The scientists will tell you about that one.
There you go. I would have said it probably resembles a lollipop lady myself. I don't know what that does for psychology. His hotline bling gets it down the line. Looks to receive it back from Ball Sam. It's with Sharuma now. He's just in a mess of Taroona shirts. He manages to find his way out and back to Drake. To Mearns. Vandermeer, they're keeping the football very well, Andrew Cooling. The carpet football at the moment from Olympia. Very, very good to watch. Taroona now on the counter. It's from Darling to Tubb. Holds onto it nicely. Drops inside for McGregor and back for Sharp. Sharp goes long. It was more a hit and hope from the Taroona defender, and Olympia easily nullify that one as it's from Vandermeer to Paradisus and now with Mearns.
Goes out to Drake on the right-hand side. Plays into the channel for Hoy, who's kicked, and that's an easy decision for the referee to make. The only question is, will we see the first slice of cheese for the day brought out? Might just get a ticking off and do that again, and you will go into the book. A few calls for the cheese from the crowd, but he gets away with it. The first set-piece opportunity here, a good area for the Warriors. Collard standing over it. They've got a few options. They don't really have the cattle in the air today, you'd have thought. It's an area Taroona should be able to have a bit of superiority. The aerial duels, they do look a bigger side out there on the field at the moment. So I'd perhaps expect a bit of a gimmick, maybe plays it in short here to Hoyt. There's stoppage as the referee consults with the linesman about something. Something's been spotted. So entirely sure what's been seen, but really something's caught the assistant's eye, and the slice of cheese being reached for here. So there's going to be a booking, and it's gone to Gavin Hoy by the looks of it. Is that all the centre back? No, he's gone to the big Taroona centre half. I'm not sure what's going on there. Bit of shirt grabbing perhaps, but he's going to be walking the tightrope from a very early stage in this game. And when you're playing the old park the bus, that's not really what you want from your centre back. Collard to play it in. We've got Sam and Sharuma. There's a couple of targets. That one goes to the back post. Heads it straight down to the keeper, and that's easy picking. So a bit of a waste there. But it's not an area I expect them to really dominate from the set pieces today. Olympia, they're not really a physical side. They're a technical team. They'll play it along the deck, and really, Vandermeer, the big centre half, is the only one you'd expect to do anything in the air. He's partnered by Mearns, the more ball-playing centre half. Here is Collard in some space in the middle. He shifts it out right, but that should be picked off. Wasn't quite. And now Ball Sam looks up, sees white shirts everywhere, plays it in for Sharuma. Now Wadawu looking to fire, but it's a wall of white shirts again. Drake plays it out. And again, they hold up pretty well. This Taroona defence. Nick Mearns getting forward. He's not shy to a long-range shot, decides to play it in short instead to Wadawu. Out wide for Sam, who blitzes around a defender with ease and can get around a second marker and wins the corner, but there's going to be a lot of that, I think, shifting it out to the wingers again to run at the defence, because they are sitting very, very deep. They're sitting any deeper, they'd be in the goals, Gilly.
Yes, very much so, Drewy. They're all over them like a cheap suit at the moment, Olympia. Wilbur Salmon offering on short. And Hoy brings it in to the top of the 6. It's headed wide by Wadawu. A terrific piece of delivery from Hoy. Dipped in. It's perfect height, really, for Wadawu to meet it. He just couldn't steer it into the goal frame.
Keeper rooted to the spot. If that was on target, it was going to be 1-0. Superb delivery from the Canadian Hoy. That's what he does offer. He might be the striker, but he's such a maestro with his ability to pull the strings if he does drop a bit deeper. So far, Taroona holding up pretty well. They go along, and this is where they're going to have opportunities, you feel, if they can just get something on the break, and they've got a chance here. They're not going to have a lot of opportunities, so you feel they're going to want to make them count as they look to probe forward, but Hotline Bling did really well, and then it was a fancy backheel pass, sets Ball Sam away. He strides into midfield and then got a little ambitious with the pass. It wasn't particularly well dealt with by Taroona though, and they end up conceding a throw very deep in their defensive territory, and immediately 9 shirts scamper back into the box. It's a good ball. Can they win the corner? Yes, he can. So another set piece, another chance for the Canadian Hoy to put his right foot around the ball and see if he can conjure up a bit of magic, as he did so often last year on that march to the title. He was such an instrumental figure in proceedings. Here's Ball Sam. Every time he's had the ball, he's had 3 defenders to beat. He's going to try and beat them all again, but again met with the wall. Back to Hoy. I think this is going to be the pattern of the game. It's going to be a bit tedious perhaps, but when you're a team like Taroona, I think it's what you've got to do. You're not going to outplay Olympia, so I think this is your only chance, and in the cup, why not? This will spill to the back post and should be hacked clear. Wasn't particularly convincingly done though, and again it'll be throw deep in the defensive half. Here's Ball Sam. He knows he's got plenty of time. Plays it back to Hickey. They're not pressing them until they get near the box. Hoy with a delightful little ball in here. Might be a chance to shoot. Again, shirts everywhere. Plays it to Sam, who's got acres of space and jinks inside. Beats his marker nicely and then cuts to the near post. Will he drive it in? He will, but it's blocked. Again, well defended by Taroona.
Yeah, they're just holding on for dear life though, really, aren't they? It seems like it's only a matter of time until Olympia will break them down. You see Hoy and Ball Sam over this one in conversation. Whether he'll play it short or not will be interesting. His delivery was superb last time. Brings this one in. It's a deeper cross. It's off the head of Wadawu. He's scurried back to just try and get something on it. It's out of play for a throw-in. It'll be Tubb to bring it in. Not a lot of movement from Taroona feet, though, you've got to say. Very happy just to sit back and relax, as it's from Hoy to Sharuma. Not a lot of relaxation when he's on the ball. Shimmies and shakes and goes to the right, asking for more from his players. As Drake gets by one, shapes to shoot, and it ricochets off the back of a defender and out of play out to the right for another Olympia corner.
Yeah, I think the longer it goes on, the more often we're going to see these fullbacks pushing on, being a little edgy, and I think that's Taroona's plan. They'll wait until they start overcommitting and then try and hit them on the break. It's obviously a tough strategy to pull off, but at the end of the day, when you're coming in as the big underdogs against a team bolstered by these expensive import signings, it's probably the best recourse, as we see Ball Sam looking to get onto that left and curl one for the back post. It was always going well wide, and no threat to the goal there. And for all their possession, apart from the Wadawu header at the corner, they've not really conjured a clear chance yet. So you've got to say, well done to Taroona, as they carry the ball out, lays it forward. It's going to come straight back at them as Sharuma flicks one through to no one in particular. They'll just hack this one wide and should fly out of play. Olympia ahead might just present an opportunity, and that's done well Lovely work again as for the first time we see a little bit of forward pressure from the Taroona forwards. They've been pretty content just to sit off them so far and let them do what they want as Nick Mearns plays it out to Drake. Drake plays it to Sam, a fancy little flick to Sharuma, back to Drake. The imports combining nicely. Number 9 is the defensive midfielder. Plays an ambitious ball through to Hickey, who gets a head on it, but the keeper was there and he got a hand. And a crucial hand it was to deny. It was a ghosting little run from Shea Hickey there, bombing on from midfield, and it was a great ball to pick him out. And almost provided the breakthrough. Here's Gavin Hoy, looks for the nutmeg, but it was well defended again. Sharuma with a chance to whip one in. Plays it to the penalty spot, and again, numbers back and clears the ball, only as far as Ball Sam. He's just an attorney on the ball every time he's got it. Drake getting more adventurous with his runs. He crosses to the near post, headed away. As Banks are forward, dealing with the threat pretty well. It's rinse and repeat here. How long can they hold out? Wadzawu plays it in for Sharuma. Just got a little bit fancy there, and now he's a chance. 1-on-1 on the break, but that's a miss. And that's going to be a red card, is it? He's fouled him. He's the last man. This has to be a red card. Oh, he's got the cheese. He's got the slice of cheese. Well, that was a goal-scoring opportunity for mine. A Taroona player shaking their heads in disbelief. I don't know how Paradises has been allowed to stay on the park. If this isn't a clear goal-scoring opportunity, I don't know what is. He's upended him. He must have ruled that Mearns is going to get back and cover him.
To be fair to Paradises, he actually didn't do anything.
He didn't.
Nah. So I think,
But it's
in some respects, kind of stiff to cover cheese because he actually didn't do anything. He just gave one of the best fresh air swings you'll ever see. Got nowhere near that, Paradises. A free kick for Taroona nonetheless. Jeez, they would have been wrapped with that. Yeah, it really would have given them a heap of confidence.
That's what their game plan is. Absorb. There's a chance.
Exactly right, Drew. So they've just been sitting back, copping the blows, and then they're just going to come and deliver a counterpunch, and this is a really good opportunity. Tom Young over it.
You wouldn't have thought they'd get many better chances throughout the day from such advanced areas. Here's Young stepping up, looking to curl it, but just wide. It was dipping, but not quite enough, and that's how they're going to play. They're going to have to take the very few chances they get. And in the end, Olympia survive, but there's the threat. If you overcommit forward, they get a bit frustrated, and both fullbacks bombing on, there will be the occasional chance back the other way for Taroona. And I think the manager would be delighted with how the first 22 minutes have gone here. They've not really been too threatened, despite the majority of the game being played in the final third. And they've conjured up a chance there. It'll be a goal kick here as this one's forced out of play. As the wind is starting to really pick up here. I think that absolutely played into the Paradises calamity there for a moment. The wind was blowing, the pitch just a little bit slippery. Yeah, the big fresh airy. And lucky to survive in the end. He's headed on by Sharuma in the ball Sam direction, but Vandermeer there, flicks it back on. Sam leaping high, but Taroona. Yeah, it's a really strong challenge as they'll look to come flying back the other way. But that's well cut out. And Sharuma gets the ball again. He's got Sam running at the defence here. Immediately 2 defenders across. Controlling on his right. He gets to the byline, but it's well defended. And they'll just clear the area. Albeit not so far, but they do so.
Scores from around the grounds. Half-time up at Mitsubishi Park in the Women's Super League. It's Launceston City 3, University 0. That would actually be full-time, rather. So Launceston City have got the better of University. Both teams started well on Saturday, so good result. And Ulverston 3 beat Taroona 0, and it was 2-0 at half-time. So there you go. Scores from around the grounds in the PFD Women's Super League. With Darwin on the ball now. Time and space to assess options. Finds Mearns. He's got a paddock to run into. Measures the ball to Sharuma. Looks to go right. Goes left. Jigs. Shapes a shot, and it's saved by Cherry. He parries, but luckily his second effort is good enough to swallow it and just see it away from Hoy.
He's just going to leave it on the doorstep for the simple tap in there for a moment. Heart in the mouth type moment. He's just able to react in time as the long ball is played again. But this one will roll safely wide of Paradise's goal. But long and strong with the wind. It's carrying the distance and just giving a bit of a makeshift back four of Olympia, a back four that wouldn't have played together a whole lot. Just a few things to think about. Perhaps Mearns, perhaps his strength not really in the air. He's more of that ball player. Good tackler and a very good passer, but in the air, probably not his strength. As Sharuma looks to turn onto his left. He's looking very sharp so far. He crosses to Wadawu in a bit of space at the top of the box. He looks to cut inside, but he's got two defenders for company. What can Wadawu conjure? He goes back to the Canadian. Hoy, who's got some space, gets on his right, and he strikes the woodwork. Oh, great chance there for the Canadian. And that was so very close to being 1-0. Hoy getting onto his right foot and inches away from opening the scoring here. He gets the ball again, Hoy. The woodwork denying him. They're getting closer. Here's Ball Sam.
They're probing, aren't they, Drewy?
He's been pretty well handled so far, Sam. Every time he's had a run, they've managed to shut it down pretty well, but they've done well to hold out for 26 minutes, but can they keep doing so? That was the first real moment where it looked like it was about to come undone. It was the first time that Hoy's had room in the box. He finally had a yard of space. And he almost made them pay the ultimate price.
Drake brings it in for Mearns, who's been operating in centre half, traditionally a midfielder. He's played nicely down the wing, the right channel. Finds Sharuma, who's been busy. Yet to send anything into the box. Great threat though. This one from the byline, almost from Wadawu. I think he scuffed his effort in the end and gifted it to Taroona. They give it back in swift fashion from Collard. It's Marsh who just cannons clear, and Paradisus will have no trouble collecting this one. Left his boots firmly planted on the deck. Doesn't want another fresh air swing. Forward for Drake, in for Sharuma. Through ball, picks out Ball Sam. He's charging into the box, but he's offside. There's a few words to the linesman. Big Ball Sam. I think he's going to be a real enigma in this league, Andrew Cooling.
He's been fairly well held in check so far, but he's not often had a chance to run one-on-one on a defender. He's often got round one and immediately has been one of those three defensive midfielders Taroona have essentially played back in to deny the space he's looking to cut into. Big Darling, it's a pretty thankless task playing up top for Taroona today. A lot of just cloofing onto his head. It's really a tough day for him, but he's worked hard so far. Here's Hoy. He looks to get inside. He goes one way, then the other. This is nice from the Canadian. Drives in and crosses. Keeper has a hold of it. And his handling's been good twice now under pressure.
Big Cherry, he's got the job done there. He throws out wide to the right. Picks out Tubb. Back for Sharp. That ball anything but, as he gives it straight to Olympia. It's with Vandermeer now. Now on the left to Joel Samet. Inside, find Collard. Doesn't stress on it. Measures a ball, finds Mearns. Sharuma with Drake. Just a little roll back. They'll just take their time. Send another attack going forward. Ball Sam picks it up. It's with Drake now. Gets by one. It's to breach the box. It's cut off nicely. They take it back. It's propelled out by Taroona and out for another throw in as Olympia continue to pile on the pressure.
Sam's got a little bit of space here to put the ball into the air. He runs at the defender, gets into the box and plays a dangerous ball across the face of goal, and it's clear. They had two men in there. Collard wants it, takes a deflection, and that could cause a few problems, but the keeper's all over it. And they continue to hold firm under a very stern examination from Olympia. Against launched long. Vandermeer wins the header. But now here's the chance for the referee. It's got the way. And that'll be frustrating for Taroona. They've had very few chances to push forward, and that was one moment where it's just starting to open up for them. dangerously juggled in the area, and that's miscontrolled in a poor area. Falls to Hoyer's offside, so it wouldn't have mattered, even though he absolutely butchered the finish, but the flag was straight up.
I think Sharp actually got a boot on it to impede his shot on goal, but yeah, he was offside nonetheless anyway. Was he though? Yeah.
Lovely little ball all the same though.
Geez, it must have been tight actually.
From that replay, it didn't. Obviously not at a great angle, but maybe...
You trust the officiating assistant. That's all you can do, really.
This one's flicked long. Burns wins a header. He beats the ball and attacked forward. I do wonder if, with Olympia playing into the wind, whether it'll get easier for them in the second half, and whether Taroona, if they are going to get that goal, it's got to be this half, Gilly, because they're going to have a fair advantage with that wind. It is actually significantly impacting the flight of the ball. As we see Taroona again looking to run at the defence, again surrounded by 3 white shirts. Comes back to Drake. Collard now looks up, sees a white wall and decides to run at it, and then turns back the other way. Plays it to Taroona. Patient this build-up, as has been their style. Now Sam, it's a nice overlapping run. He's got into the area. And it was almost steered home by Wadawu, but again, the Taroona back 4 holding up really well.
Drewy, I reckon Wadawu's had 6 chances, genuine chances.
What about genuine chances?
I reckon 6.
I reckon there's been about 3 defenders in his way every time he's had a shot.
Maybe, but that was a chance. You got to put that down as a chance.
Half chance.
The header before, which
the header's the best chance of the game.
I 100% agree there. It's picked up beyond halfway. It's Samet now. Tries to win it. Darling wins back for Taroona. Only as long as until Big Drake gets involved, jumps in, wins it for Olympia. Played around themselves. Now for Samet. Got a bit of pace about him. In for Wadawu, turns immediately. Finds Taroona. Shots on. Fires into the bottom right. Olympia open their account. 1-0 to the Warriors. It's been a funny old ball game, all from the start of moving the ground. We're here at KG5. They've been all over them. Taroona have done their best, but unfortunately they couldn't keep out that one. Taroona just too much space and time, and he's picked out the corner.
And that's so often the way in these games. When you're sitting back, when you're defending like this, it just takes that one moment of class, that one moment of quality to unlock it. And we saw it there with a 20-yard finessed effort into the corner. I wonder if maybe the keeper was just a little off his line and maybe could have done better. It was a finely placed shot all the same though. And now I wouldn't expect Taroona to be changing their game plan on the fly too much. Well, it's still 1-0. I reckon they'll still remain fairly defensive as a chance here is coming together, and the foul is adjudged. So wins the free kick in a dangerous area and a good chance to hit back in a hurry. Mearns infringing here as we have a look at the replay, and yeah, he gets all the man and none of the ball. So a good decision there by the referee. And Big Darling up top has really worked hard, and he wins a free kick in a dangerous area for his team here, and they'll send the tall timber forward. It could be an area they could benefit from. Can they answer back in a hurry? A real blow to Olympia. They've had to work so hard to break them down. If they were to concede straight away, the ball's played in, and Spiro Paradisis is very short with his hands there. Here's Van der May receiving it from Bulbul Sam. Plays it back to Hickey. They'll just stroke it round the back line. Here's Nick Mearns. Makeshift centre half. Launches long, looking for Wadawu. Can't control it though, it was always out of play. And Taroona will get the throw in. 34 minutes into this contest. 1-0 Olympia. Fine goals, woken proceedings here. They have completely dominated play, but very much by design. A lot of it has been Taroona. Quite content to sit back so far in this one. Here's Hickey on the ball. Plays it across to Drake. Been really impressed by Drake so far. He looks a very tidy player. Could be a fine signing as Bulbul Sam scythes inside. Plays a nice one too, and can he get on the end of this? He can, but his touch was a bit heavy. And the keeper's able to get on the end of it, but again, the ever-present threat of Borbor Sam is evident. And again, they'll launch it long onto the head of Darling, but it goes over his head to Darling. Hickey beaten to the ball. Drake, acrobatic in finding out Sam. Plays it back to Hickey. The passing has been a joy to watch from Olympia at times today. There's another sharp ball that's played in with Wadawu, who plays in the Canadian Gavin Hoy, but the Taroona defence holding firm and plays it out of play. Hoy trying to steal the throw, but they're cheeky. It was always a Taroona ball, that one, I think.
So throwing now. Taroona. I mean, they were playing the underdog game style, really, weren't they? The sit back and just wait for a counter punch. It's going to be difficult now that Olympia have opened the scoring. You think the floodgates could open as Wadawu zips into the box. He's done really well, but Sharp gets in a timely boot that sees it out for a corner. So from the left, Olympia will send in another corner. They're quite a few.
Yeah, they're starting to mount up, aren't they? That up, but when the ball's been played so predominantly in and around the box, it's going to happen. That's a delicate little chip into the area that should be cleared, and eventually will be.
Oh, sloppy work in the finish.
He failed to get the big boot on it. He should have just punted that downfield, and in the end, seeds a throw in a pretty threatening area again, keeps his team under pressure. As we see a rather ordinary pass in the area. His Darling flicks on, but he's got no one in an advanced position. He's cut a very isolated figure up top. And I think his game's going to be trying to draw the foul or win a free kick in an advanced area for a set-piece opportunity. They're not really going to be looking to pass their way through the Olympia team. And
pretty tricky for him up there.
Even with the score at 1-0, I still think that this is the best setup for Taroona. I think they've had a couple of moments where they've had half a chance of scoring as Wadawu is
not sure about that one, Drewy.
A very delayed decision. I don't know about that. Play on for mine. It's a very late decision anyway. Wadawu was striding into the box and things were starting to open up for them. Not to be, but as I was saying, I think Taroona ought to stick with this until it gets to 2-0, because I don't think they're going to have much joy trying to pass their way through Olympia or committing bodies forward. I think if you keep it at 1-0, maybe you snatch an equaliser late on in the piece, and I think Olympia will want to score again. They're not going to want to keep it at 1-0, so I don't think there's any danger that they sit back. They're still going to throw bodies forward, so I think parking the bus remains the best option for Taroona for the time being, and here's one such moment now. Can they conjure something up? They can't if Sharuma has anything to do with it, as he kicks that one out of play. And got to say, the work rate of the imports has been pretty impressive so far.
Yeah, Sharuma in particular covered a lot of blades of plastic, I guess we'll have to call it. Not grass here at KG5 as Vandermeer picks it up. In for Collard to Drake. He's impressed me as well, Drake.
Really tidy, isn't he?
Very much so. I generally don't look favourably on players with top knots, but he's making it difficult because he's played some games so far as it's crossed from Vandermeer to Mearns. Plenty of space. Fires over the defensive line of Taroona. Cut off from Tubb. Cherry just hoofs clear. Vandermeer helps it further. It's still there if Darling can pick it up. He can't because Mearns is first to it and sees it out of play.
So a chance for Taroona to just get a couple of bodies forward in the shadows of half-time here.
Around the grounds, Drewster, from Cardigan Street, Somerset 3 defeated Newtown 1. So Somerset through to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, still a few of the lower league teams in there. Obviously, always a threat. It's the magic of the cup, isn't it? You don't have to be an NPL team. It pulls a boil over, and Taroona have given a pretty good account of themselves so far in this first half. They've come with a game plan and they've rigidly stuck to it, and I've seen many a team get blown away by the firepower Olympia possess over the past 12 months, so I think a credit to them, and they're looking to make something happen here. Charging out defences, Vandermeer, good pass, but Darling was coming back from an offside position. No one seems to have realised it was offside, and finally it is adjudged so, and the madness will just calm down, but this is where, they've got to take their chances. They've not been forward too often. You want to see them create something, and just getting around. He went down, but it was a foul. Felt the contact, hit the deck, as you'd expect him to. Here is Vandermeer playing it out to Hotline Bling Drake. And now to Sharuma, lovely ball for Wadawu. Brings it under his spell. Lays it across now for Bulbul Sam. He took a touch, didn't quite control it, but it's going to come right back at them because the clearance went straight down the throat of the Olympia fullback, and he'll play it into Sam, who's surrounded by 3 shirts. It doesn't seem to faze him. He still charges in, plays it to Wadawu. Immediately lets it go to Hoy, who curls one, and it's a touch off the keeper and in. And the keeper will have to take the blame for that one. It was a curling effort from Hoy. It was a good hit. The keeper's got a hand to it, and he's got to keep that one out, really. But they've been brought undone, and some breathing room now for Olympia. That's a real stinging blow just before half-time. They've done pretty well. He gets a solid hand to it, but floats on into the back of the net. That's one he'd rather have back, I think, Gilly.
And not his best effort there from Cherry, it's fair to say. I thought he got in an okay position, but he just didn't get enough purchase on it, really, did he?
Yeah, maybe the ball was certainly swinging and curling back that way, just perhaps misjudged it a bit. But hand needed to be stronger. Did the hard work, got into position, got the hand up to it. But it wasn't a strong enough hand. And 2-0 now, Olympia get their second goal, and their dominance would dictate. Taroona played pretty well, and here's a chance late as they launch a counter-attack. They've got 3 shirts to pick out in the box. He needs to get in there early, and it's a wasted opportunity. He had 3 men to pick out there in the box. And with chances at a premium, you really got to have better delivery. Taroona. The wind just taking a hold of that one and floating it over the byline even. So 2-0 Olympia, and they're sitting pretty comfortably now. Taroona are going to have to come out of their shells a little bit, and you'd imagine that when they do that, that's just going to open up space. The likes of Sharuma and Sam and Hoy to profit in. They've looked pretty dangerous every time they have had space. It's been at a premium. It's been pretty rare as Sam strolls through here. Perhaps the defence just tiring a little bit too. That's a delightful ball for Sharuma. Well defended at the end, but perhaps just later in the half, they've been worn down. It's a tough thing to park the bus. It's a taxing game plan. You're constantly under pressure mentally as much as anything. It requires such discipline. And I think just as the half's worn down, they've been brought a bit undone. That said, both the goals have come from rather speculative shots from outside the area. And the second one probably should have been saved. As Paradisus does well to control it. Olympia coming forward. Here's Gavin Hoy, who's drifted wider at times this game. It's been a pretty fluid front four. Wadawu seems to be playing more as a striker as the half has worn on. It's going to be another long-range effort. This one from Collard, but this one never looked particularly likely and floats pretty harmlessly past the post.
Disappointing for Taroona, but that's how the cookie crumbles, I'm afraid. You park the bus, you got to take your chances. Their only real good chance was the one where Paradisus collided with, who was it on that case? Darling. That was their best chance, really, and the free kick that followed. But it's pretty well been all Olympia apart from that. Sharuma puts it out for Wadawu. He enters the box on the right side and fires a shocker wide to the right.
Yeah, didn't make the sweetest of contact there, Warren Wadawu. Immediately chastised himself for it. He knew he should do better. As we're just a moment away now from half-time, a minute left. Can't imagine there'll be much stoppage time. They force it on over here. Oh, well done, keeper. Sherry's done well, redeemed himself. He's looking dangerous there. Sharuma and Hoy burst into the box, and it looks for the world like it was going to be 3-0. Tried to dink it over the top of him, but some good work there by the keeper, redeeming himself after a moment he would have liked to have back a few minutes earlier. As this one's flicked on, Mearns reading it and just in no uncertain terms blasting it out of play. No nonsense work there from Mearns, who has been pretty good so far at centre back, though in truth he's not really been put under much of a test. It'll be interesting to see if that's the plan for the season or whether it's just by necessity today, because Ball-playing centre-halves are all the rage these days in modern football, so he wouldn't be the first central midfielder to be converted into a centre-back. And he's looked very composed there today, but interested to see how he stands up under a slightly more sterner examination. If he plays there on Friday night against South Hobart, that'll be the real test of his mettle, perhaps, as Ball has just done as he's wanted. Looked like he's had an age on the ball. Here's Collard, immediately pressured, plays it back to Van der May. He'll play it out to the left. We've probably only got about 30 seconds left here. I can't imagine there'll be more than a minute of added time. That's a lovely ball from Hickey to Mearns. He goes to Ball and it's starting to open up a bit. He's got Wazawa if he wants the short pass. He tries a little fancy flick through the legs, and it's well read, and the defence should clear this. They don't, though. Mearns had stepped up into an advanced position and won the ball, and he's fouled, and the last opportunity of the half should go Olympia's way. Taken quickly, perhaps too quickly. I don't think Wazawa was expecting that. Drake, Wazawa plays it in, and it's Mearns charging forward. It might fall for Sharuma. Flicks it for Mearns, who's gone all the way up to the striker position, and that ends the half. A half that Olympia will be happy with. They lead 2-0. They've dominated this contest, which was to be expected. But in the end, despite a pretty rigid and staunch defensive effort from Taroona, they've been brought undone by two long-range efforts. The first one, a good shot, the keeper, maybe should have reacted a bit earlier. And the second one, he definitely should have. So I think Taroona will be pretty happy. Their game plan has really worked pretty well. They've restricted Olympia at large to long-range efforts for their goals. They've just been brought undone by a couple of moments they'd like to have back. That one really should have been saved. 2-0 at the half, and it'll be interesting to see what the second half has in store for us after that first 45, Gilly.
Definitely, Drewy. I think credit to Taroona, they've made Olympia work for it. They haven't really been blown over by a team that's just full of stars. That team sheet, that 11, is just chock full of talented footballers. But Taroona, they've just been determined and dogged back there, and they've made it difficult for them. Unfortunately, they're 2-0 down, and we could see the floodgates open in the second half. Hopefully not. Hopefully there's a contest, and they can make the most of their chances. We'll be back for the second half shortly. Do stay with us. back for the second half of this Lakoseljac Cup round of 16 match between Taroona and Olympia FC Warriors. At the moment, Olympia FC Warriors are on top. They've scored 2 goals in that first half. And they look the goods, Drewster. They look like this one will be theirs, and they'll press on into the quarterfinals, and they're looking pretty sharp for Friday night's clash. A lot of fresh faces in there, though, and we're seeing a pretty much team gelling in progress, aren't we?
We are. They're certainly not going to have as much time or space on Friday night, though. I think we can be sure of that. I don't think South Hobart will be quite parking the bus. It'll be interesting to see if Taroona maintain that throughout this second half, or whether they open things up, get a bit more adventurous. Olympia will be kicking with the win this half, which is going to help them, because it is quite a stiff breeze, and it was really affecting it. Not that it really affected Olympia's passing too much, because they have been playing along the carpet quite magnificently. They've really sat deep, Taroona, which has allowed them the chance to kind of sit on the ball, dwell on it, pick a pass, and then it's been when they've got to the box that things have broken down a little bit at times. But I think they'd be a pretty happy bunch at the moment. Obviously up 2-0. A job halfway done to booking their spot in the quarterfinal. It would take something pretty extraordinary from here for Taroona to cause the upset, you'd imagine.
Absolutely. It's Wadawu. Knocks in for Sharuma. He switches up, finds Hickey, bit of space. Uses it wisely to pick out Ball Sam. Cuts it back. It's off Taroona boots, and it's with Young, and now McGregor. He's a bit unsure what to do, McGregor. In the end, he finds Sharp. In defence, will nudge it sideways. Forward from Tubb. It's back for Olympia, and it's with Ball Sam. He does well on the outside of the boot to find Hoy. He'll drop it off for Collard, who strikes!
Oh,
it's a goal! It's a goal! What a strike from Collard! He just crossed the line. He's cannoned it into the top bar. It's bounced down, and I've got to say, it looked like a goal to me.
Yeah, it was clearly behind the line. An absolute howitzer. It just sat perfectly for him, and he has just launched that one. And it always looks pretty spectacular coming in off the bar. Very confident that it crossed the line. And a fantastic goal to start the half,
Yeah,
and that
huge.
has absolutely sealed the game already as far as I'm concerned.
It was a thunderous hit, wasn't it, from Collard? And going to be real difficult for Taroona. They were protesting. Look, we don't have goal line technology, but from the naked eye, it looked like it did cross the line. As it's Mearns who bolts away now. Nudges out to left. It's cut off from Tubb. They wrestle amongst themselves. In the end, it's out off a Taroona boot. Will be Olympia throw in. Possible, Ash. I wouldn't mind another look at that goal. That was a cracking hit from Jacob Collard. Of course, he only arrived in the state last week. He's looking the goods already for Olympia. Tremendous hit. It's Collard now, that man, the goal scorer. Finds Sharuma. Goes out to the left. Ball Sam. He'll look inside. A few fireworks, and then different wavelength to his new teammate Shay Hickey.
Yeah, not quite on the same page there, were they? It's that goal, for the memory of that one. How's that for an introduction to the local football scene? Talk about making an impact. Launched it and in off the post, and 3-0. It's a mountain to climb now for Taroona, and you can see by that goal kick just how much the wind's affecting. The goal kicks were regularly almost reaching the opposition's box in the first half, and he couldn't get halfway there as that one's flicked over the top, but the Canadian Drake is there, and he has looked a very collected and composed figure. His passing has been tidy, and he's certainly got forward, so looking like another fine signing is Drake for this Olympia side, and they're looking in the mood early in this half, although Hickey has rather butchered that one. Mearns now in a foot race, and goes down a little bit easily there, Mearns, but he felt the contact and draws the foul. Wily stuff there from Mearns, yeah, clear elbow in the back, and down he goes. And definitely a foul, no question about that one. So, chance goes begging there for Taroona. Vandermeer. Gives the pass. And switch things up with a raking crossfield ball to Bobo Sam. He steps up and runs at the defence. He's surrounded. He lays it off for Hoy, whose pass was a bit underwhelming. Once again, here's Collard. He might have another dip. He was shaping to shoot, but there were a few shirts in the way there. Here's Shea Hickey. And they're pegged back really deep here at the moment, and they'll just continue to control the ball, the Olympia Warriors. Oh, lovely turn from Bobo Sam. Then fakes the shoot with a drop-off pass. The cross is then steered home. A sublime team goal finished off by Warren Wadawu. That is beautiful football from the Warriors, and that is a taste of things to come this season. All the big names involved in the build-up play there, and in the end, Wadawu just with a simple tap home, but Bobo Sam, the beautiful little pass in, and a fine cross in the end, just evading the keeper. And it was Warren Wadawu with his left foot steering into the corner. And after really struggling to break down Taroona in this first half, they've brought them undone twice in the opening 5 minutes here. And you just feel like the dam wall that was pretty solid for the first 3 minutes or so has been smashed wide open now as Mearns strolling forward, and Olympia suddenly with a real spring in their step. They want to score as many as possible here. It's a lovely pass from Paradisus to Wadawu. It's Collard, another raking ball. It's a real feature of his play today. Here's Bobo Sam. Oh, just drops inside with ease and then floating one up, which the wind takes a hold of, and it floats over the top. The cross turning into a bit of a shot there in the end, and a slight worry for the keeper, but the wind taking a bit too much of it. But just Olympia all over them here at the moment, and the resistance as well had truly been broken, and that's a really poor pass out from the back that's almost let Wadawu let them off the hook a bit there. But 4-0, and unless they fix this kind of lack of cohesiveness we've seen at the start of the half at the back, Taroona, there could be a few more on the way. Olympia look in the mood for goals, and kicking into this wind, it's going to be coming right back at them as it does here quite often. Wadawu seizes on it, plays a teasing ball into the area, but no one was there to get on the end of it, and Taroona can clear the area. 51 minutes gone, 4-0, and Olympia with 1 foot, maybe 2, into the quarterfinals. And they'd love to run up the score here and get some real confidence amongst their attacking players before that South Hobart game on Friday. I think quite breeds confidence in an attacking group like scoring goals, Gilly.
You're right. Sorry, just busy tweeting when those goals happen in quick succession. It makes it tough as it's in for Collard. He's been superb today, Collard, for Hickey. Vandermeer, this as a lineup looks very, very scary. This Olympia FC Warriors team. With Dawu to Sharuma. He shapes and shoots, and it's wide to left.
So let me be the first to issue the apology to the number 9, Collard. Wasn't a fan of his midfielder wearing the number 9. I think he's proven he can well and truly strike them just fine. Now, he's more than welcome to that shirt. So I think Collard can be the exception to that rule. Ordinarily, the number 9 really should be a strikers club, but if you can hit the ball like that, you can wear whatever shirt number you like. So this one's headed down. Hickey second to the ball, and Taroona looks to counter, but it's going to be a lot harder for them to counter now because the quick direct balls are just going to hold up into this really stiff breeze. They do a nice job passing it here until it breaks down with a turnover. Hickey plays a sharp 1-2, but Taroona will come back the other way. The referee has called the foul and a slice of cheese is issued. Is that the first one for the day, I believe?
Paradise just got that one.
Of course. That could have been a red or it could have been nothing. In the end, perhaps the ref wasn't sure which one to give and went in between. Taroona with a set-piece opportunity here. They send a few bodies forward and they'll to just sit this one up in the wind. He curls it to the top of the air and it just holds. And the fall to Vandermeer, who can pick out Bobo Sam, who's suddenly got some space. He looks up, he's got a head of steam here, Bobo Sam. Such a dangerous player running. He's got a style on the ball, dribbling with it. Really looks dangerous every time he gets it. He's fouled here and just standing in the way, and maybe the Taroona player just missing a trick there. Maybe he should have just kicked it straight into him and got him the yellow card. Because he absolutely would have got it for infringement.
Absolutely. Sharp, long and strong, picks out Young. No, he doesn't, as Vandermeer gets involved. Looks for Hickey. McGregor steals. There's only Drake there as he sweeps up for Olympia. Long and strong from Paradisus. That's picked up in the air. And it's Taroona now. Oh, almost. Sharp guides it off his head into the arms of Cherry. He's had a bit of a mixed bag today, Cherry. And
Falcon.
right on cue.
Big Falcon.
As Ball picks it up. Jeremy Stevens down for the count. Along it comes onto the left flank. Hickey picks it up right in front of the line. It's out off the Taroona leg. And out for a Warriors throw in, I would have thought. He's still struggling with that Falcon, is Stevens.
He's a fairly impressive one. He certainly copped it. He knocked him down there for a bit. Still struggling a little bit as Olympia preparing to take the throw. There's a bit of a stoppage here, and eventually we're going to have a substitution and a pretty good first bow for Drake. It'll be very impressive there. A good showing.
Absolutely. So in slots Aiden Farquhar, and you'll see Mearns switch out to a fullback. It's actually how he started at Olympia, right fullback. There's Bobo Sam breaches the box. He looks to shoot. He wants to get on the score sheet with his mates. Oh, it's cut off. Sharp looks to get it out there. Collard brings it back in for the Warriors. They just scurry it clear madly.
Yeah, Bobo had a bit of an opening there, just didn't quite make the contact he would have liked. Did all the hard work, forged the opportunity for himself, but couldn't quite steer that one to the corner. But every time Collard just gets the ball on the edge of the area, just looks a threat to score. He's just shaping to shoot. That's going to be a real weapon for Olympia this year. If he can start firing in some shots from range. He plays a pass here. That's a good ball into Hoy, and the Canadians shot is blocked. Woodzawu fakes the cross and then crosses back to Collard, digs it to the far post where Sam was lurking, and it's just put behind for a corner. And Olympia will send 3 men over for it, so they might raffle it. Looks like Ball Sam might be the one to take. Gavin Hoy also hovering. So the short corner option will be there, and Sam's just going to take it in directly himself. A dangerous ball to the near post. And it's flicked over the top for another corner.
I tell you what, Warren Wadawi must be loving life at the moment. He's never had this sort of delivery in his life.
He certainly also, it takes the pressure off him a bit more. If you've got these guys taking opposition defenders' attention, you might just have a little bit more space as they go to the short corner, and now Hoy looks to chip one in, but straight into the back. Now back the other way comes Taroona. Worked it nicely here, so it's a good moment, but it's well shut down. They've struggled playing it out of their own half this half, Taroona. They've a little game really, but really with the wind now kicking into it, they're struggling to get beyond halfway, it has to be said. As this one's flicked down and the refs rather got in the way there. It might work out all right though. And here's a chance to get a ball in from the wide area. Oh, skins him nicely, puts the cross in. And it's a good chance here. Spinning. And they can't quite get it on Zaga.
It was chaos at the top of the 6-yard box. McGregor,
chaos.
He'd be dazed in a spin right now, I would have thought. He did about 3 laps of his own body trying to spin around and get it into the net. Couldn't quite fashion off a shot in the end. But good work from Taroona nonetheless. Been outgunned today, but they've showed a bit of fight as Farquhar, the freshly introduced substitute, gets involved, finds Salmon, who tries to find Sam. It's one in the air by Hickey against a much taller opponent. McGregor steals back for Taroona, does well, gets by Hickey, can't pick out his striker though. Back it comes for Olympia. Ball Sam flicked off the back of his leg and out off Tubb.
Farquhar gets caught on the ball, and now Taroona. Well, he wants the foul called and ended up stopping, and the referee has... he's told him to have a chat, and he probably had a case there for a foul, I think. But might have been better served playing on. But probably somewhat unfortunate to not have the foul call. The defender did appear to be all over him, and he's not particularly pleased with the explanation being offered to him here. Somewhat disbelieving, but Taroona will take the throw here on the right-hand side. Been a good couple of minutes for him here after really shell-shocked in the first 10 minutes of this half. The game absolutely wrapped up. Mearns strokes it forward to Wadawu, who's inside to Collard. There's a good move out to the left here if he can head in that direction, and he does just that. He's slightly underhit the pass, and Bulbul with a nice little flick, and he was completely cleaned up afterwards, and no arguments whatsoever there from the defender about the slice of cheese that was issued. He knew exactly what he was doing, and it'll be a good set-piece opportunity here for the Warriors.
Well, indeed. You see this goal again from Warren Wadawu. It was sublime. But to be honest, he didn't have a heap to do in the finish. It was just so nicely crafted.
All in the build-up, that one, wasn't it?
It was indeed. So Collard and Shuruma conversed over this one. I reckon I fancy Shuruma from here, but I might be wrong. I am wrong. Collard. A curling ball. Geez, it's lovely to the back stick. Just no one there to greet it. Tell you what, beautiful off the boot of Collard.
Yeah, some serious curl on that ball. No one made the run to the back post, though. If they had, it would have been put on a platter for them. The set-piece delivery has been impressive, and you add that to Gavin Hoy, and suddenly they've got a couple of pretty talented options to be on the set-piece duties this year. And they are a pretty formidable squad, as we have harped on about quite a bit, Olympia. Albeit we haven't really seen them pressed at all. They've had a lot of time on the ball in midfield, a lot of space. So we'll learn a lot more about them on Friday, I think. But on first look, it's a very sharp lineup. Shuruma on the ball now. Shapes to go one way, then the other, and then dinks one in looking for Wadawu and almost picked him out. Right idea. Just slightly overhit, and Wadawu had made a rather intelligent run. Couldn't quite get on the end of it.
Couldn't get on the end of it. Jeez, it was lovely stuff for Shuruma. He's been dynamic today, hasn't he, Shuruma? Just been in everything. As Wadawu picks it up, just prods it forward for Hoy. He does well to get it to Sam. Sam shoots! It curls, and it flies over the bar. He wants to get in on the act, Bulbul.
Yeah, getting a little bit hungry. I think at 4-0. Can't blame him. Wadawu was making a nice run out to the right, but he wasn't far away with the hit. He's a real live wire. He's been dangerous every time he's picked the ball up. You've just felt like something's going to happen. And that goal kick is just held up in the air, straight to Sam. Hickey strains the sinews and just gets there. Oh, fakes one way and then goes to the left-footed pass. Very fancy there. Perhaps the teammates have just having an impact on Shea Hickey, looking to get on the fancy stuff too. More of a no-nonsense player from what we've seen in previous seasons. And there'll be another set piece in a dangerous area. Gavin Hoy to whip this one in. He curls it to the back post and it floats. It almost curls in. It strikes the woodwork. Keeper didn't judge it, and it's cracked the post there. It's curling in. So close to being a wonderful free kick goal there for Gavin Hoy. And I'll tell you what, these free kicks from the left-hand side, with the wind as it is, really a real danger.
Indeed, as it's playback for Farquhar. He does well. Just threads through, finds Collard. Forward now for Wadawu, who's been a busy little bee all afternoon. Finds Hoy. Nice first touch, keeps him in it. He's got options coming. He opts to hold on to it. Picks something out. He finds Collard, who fakes an early ball. Off the outside of his boot, he picks out Hickey in the box on the penalty spot. Drops it off for Shuruma. A little too light from Hickey, and Taroona capitalise. They'll run away. It's a long ball from McGregor. A very, very nice one. Picks out Ayres. Ayres has Mearns for company. He'll look inside. He can't quite find his winger on the opposite flank. It's cut off from Samet. Finds Shuruma. Look to dart away Shuruma on the outside of his boot to Hoy. Hoy is onside from the byline. All he can do is squeeze a ball off the leg of Sharp and out for a corner.
Well defended in the end. It was an intelligent run from Hoy. I thought he might have just strayed offside, but clearly timed it well. He really got a yard on the rest of the defence there. Which will cut back inside and a good sliding challenge to cut him off there at the near post, but it'll present another set-piece opportunity as we tick to the 65th minute mark of this half. It's all one-way traffic, really. Olympia, you wouldn't rule them out scoring a few more. The chances are starting to mount. Set-piece opportunities in dangerous areas. Hoy looks to curl this one, but was a bit shallow and put behind for another corner. And a substitution is going to be made, is it?
Nah, they just need a ball.
Well, there we go.
Mearns just putting in extras to go and fetch a ball.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought he'd be terribly fussed about getting it back too quickly. I think it's very much job done as far as Olympia are concerned. 4-0 ahead. And they've managed to put the ball, they're trying to return back over the fence. So not the sharpest work there from Olympia, but they've been pretty sharp in general play today.
It's a flat-looking ball in for Collard. He's got time and space. It's closed down quickly, though. Looks out to the left. Nudges it into the vicinity of ball Sam. It's a good tackle from Taroona, and they see it out again for another Olympia attack.
You're really being hemmed in here at the moment. It's corner after corner. Shift after shift they're attacking here as he curls one to the back stick, but no one there. And again, it's not a behind for another corner. They're really mounting up. They've probably been double figures for the half now.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Quickly take it. Here's with Dawu trying to catch him unawares, and they might just have done that. Here's Gavin Hoy trying to shake to shoot, but it was well blocked in the end, and somehow finds his way back to him, fakes it, and then ends up trying to curl one in, and it's well saved at the near post. Gavin Hoy as a striker, I'm going to say the experiment has worked pretty well today. He's looked very sharp in there, very shifty and hard to go track of as a surging run down the left has found some space, and a reasonable attempt from Ayres, I think it is.
Yeah.
Straight out the keeper.
Straight out the keeper, easy one for Paradisus. He finds Samet, and they're away at the races now, Olympia. It's with Dawu, drops it off for Hickey. Out for Hoy. He's got an option wide if he wants it. He picks him out. It's Sharuma. He's got Tub for company. He'll look to beat him. He cuts in, fires a shot, but it's wide to the left and out for a goal kick.
How was the pass from Hoy there? Put it on a dime from 30 yards away. And the passing has been a real feature. We did say that the moving of venues was probably something they'd be more than happy with due to the surface, and there's been a very slick passing display from the Warriors today. They've really been as advertised. A lot of hype around the pre-season. Obviously some very high-profile recruits. They're the defending champions, and they'll head into the new season as favourites. So they needed to put on a show today, and they have done just that. And Taroona, they put in a pretty good first half, you got to say. They've broken down a little bit in the second half, but been obviously overmatched. But they've fought hard, and I think they can be taking away a few positives. The first half in particular, it's not quite gone the way they would have liked. The first 5 minutes of this half really put them behind the 8 balls. This one is played forward, just holds up a little bit with Dawu, who's really improved as the game's worn on. He's been more and more impactful. He's operating on the right-hand side. Got Ball Sam on the left and Hoy centrally, and then Sharuma in the hole behind, almost with a bit of a free roll as we see the veteran Shea Hickey being subbed off. A good little run out for him ahead of the regular season, and pretty serviceable display again from Shea Hickey today.
Tom Bellini coming on. He's a talented young player. Real quality is Bellini. Get a chance to stamp himself on this contest. He's got, 20-odd minutes still to play with, so good opportunity for the youngster.
Well, he might find opportunities tough to come by this year, so he's going to need to seize every minute he gets on the pitch, so he'll certainly be looking to make an impact, you'd think.
Across from Farquhar, finds Vandermeer through to Adawu. Back for Collard. He does well, picks out Sam to perfection inside for Bellini, who turns. And shifts it to Wadawu. Some lovely football being played by Olympia. From Wadawu to Hoy. Puts it into the box. It's headed clear by Marsh. Picked up by Wadawu. He's been energetic all afternoon. Back for Collard. He thinks, why not take a strike from an audacious angle about 25 yards out, but that one's flown over to the corner store, Grove Road store, I think, over there. Good old Louis will look after there with a nice bit of flake.
Yeah, certainly some lovely flake for lunch. Fair old line there.
Substitution for Taroona there, Drewster. It looks like Ayres is going to depart. Number 15 coming on. We'll have to consult the team sheet here.
Well, they had a pretty good shift today, Ayres. They haven't had a lot of moments in attack, but the ones they have, he's been pretty integral to, especially in the second half. He's worked hard both ways. He certainly had his work cut out for him, having to track back a lot, but I think I've been reasonably impressed with what I've seen from Ayres today. A pretty good shift in pretty trying circumstances. Bellini wins the ball, and it's play on. Ball. Sam now looking to run, lays back off for Bellini. Quick passing, these little short passes around the box have been a real feature of Olympia's play. Now Hoy shapes to shoots, and the keeper again probably should be doing better, and Gavin Hoy curls one in. It's 5-0 now, and another shot from outside the area. It's not been his day in goals, I'm afraid. Yeah, that one snuck in at the back post, and the Warriors get a fifth. Just a little cherry on top for Gavin Hoy, who's been a very good player today, but you've got to say his goals have been a bit fortunate. And 5-0 now the score with 20 minutes left to play. Taroona will be hoping just to limit the damage here. It's been a pretty tough shift for them. Gavin Hoy finding the score sheet again. He's not a man you want to give space on the edge of the area to. The curl he can get on the ball is pretty exceptional, and he's made them pay again here. 5-0 is some lovely fancy footwork there. It wasn't really followed up by a ball with matching quality as the quick release to Sharuma. He just leaves it for Wadawu. Play back for Nick Mearns at right back. He really is Mr. Versatile. There's Nick Mearns. I wonder where he'll slot into the team this year on a permanent basis. Very useful player to have. Ball. Arguably fouled a couple of times, but stayed on his feet and did well. That was a bit fancy from Sharuma, but it'll work out all right. He's Mearns now. He looked to cross one into the area. He drives a low and flat ball. Bellini's going to get there first. Drops his shoulder. Now looks to charge in the box and is fouled on the edge of the area. And another set-piece opportunity for the Warriors. The trickery of Bellini drawing the foul. And geez, he's not a bad option to have coming off the bench. A skillful player like him just shows the depth as well as the top-end talent they have. They've got a pretty impressive depth to this squad, Olympia.
And he's only 16, Drewster, which is pretty frightening.
So we have another look at the goal, and the keeper's really got to be doing better on that one. Again, he's got in position. He's lying on the ground afterwards, he knows. Not that it really matters at this stage. It's not been his day, fair to say, as Ball Sam is going to take the free kick, which is rolled about 3 metres backwards. Just won't stay still. The wind is quite strong. Now Ball Sam will take it again. Will he try and curl onto the back post? He does, and the keeper gets a hand on it. That'll be a corner ball. Ball again, just looking to tease him to the back post, just into the teeth of that breeze and brings it back. They've had quite a bit of success doing that in this second half. It's been torturous for the keeper and the back four of Taroona. There's Sharuma, fakes one way, goes back the other. Here's Bellini shaping to shoot, and he nearly curled it in. Again, looking to use that breeze and steer it home. He wasn't far away. It was pretty good contact made from Bellini. Not sure the keeper did have it covered in the end. And it remains a 5-zip Olympia.
Five zip. Curtains well and truly drawn on this contest, Drewster. It's really just fizzling out. It's all about Ball Sam finding the net, I think, for me. Everyone else has got in on the act. I tell you what, Gavin Hoy was an exceptional player for Olympia last year. With these new players coming in, he's going to get better service than he got last year. He's going to attack in more, play in more advanced areas, either on a wing or, as we've seen today, at number 9. I think we're going to see a very, very good season from Gavin Hoy.
He's going to have more space too. I mean, you can have your defenders being drawn to your balls, and that's really going to open up the space for him. And he's had space today. Give him an inch. He's taken a mile. He's been sublime today, Hoy. And Olympia, I think the last 20 minutes or 15 minutes or so here is just going to be getting through unscathed without any injuries or cards ahead of Friday night. I think it's pretty much cue in the rack time, but such is the quality of them, they're still going to forge a few chances, you'd think.
Yeah, definitely. It is cue in the rack time. We've seen that with Shea Yuki coming off. Would be surprised if we don't see some of these other stars just take a spell. Of course, we've seen Drake also come off, so one more in the bank. You might see Bulwar Sam just put on ice, considering he's picked up a yellow as well. That'd be the last thing you need, as Collard picks it up. In midfield, he's got Bellini offering, ignores that. Back for Mearns. He's just very casual in defence, isn't he, Mearnsy? Forward now for Collard. He's got a bit of space to operate in. Finds Hoy. Hoy through for Sharuma. It's all too easy here for Olympia. Ball Sam fires. It's a team effort and bounces into the arms of Cherry this time.
I'll tell you what, the intensity from Taroona has dropped off a bit. That first 45 minutes, they were really pressuring when they got around the area. They were running hard. They were pretty tenacious in defence. All of a sudden, they're just walking it up to the area. The Warriors, they're a bit tired. I think mentally fatigued as well, and they know they're done. So, very much more goals could be on the cards here if they do want to press the issue. Certainly, Bulwar Sam has looked like he's keen to get on the score sheet. Here's Sharuma. Sam. Fancy back heel, but that's cleared. And I think the last touch has come off a Taroona man there, so we throw into the Warriors. Sam offering short, gets ignored. And here is Hoy. His fancy feet back to Sam. Just cuts to the left, he's got 3 to beat. Opposite pass and almost found Hoy. Samet will be first to it and he'll keep it in. Might just play it all the way back to Farquhar, and he does. Farquhar can shift the point of attack to Van der May. Mearnsy in space on the right, but he'll go back to Farquhar. Sharuma. Now here's Waterloo in space. It's all too easy for the Warriors at the moment. Eventually they'll see the ball clear. Taroona as Otawa gets nutmegged, and Taroona now, can they get something? Can they offer a counter? They've got a few men forward if they can move it quickly, and they do. Here's a chance for the consolation marker, but it's a really poor ball right down the throat of Van der May.
Samet now cuts inside. It's well tackled, but Young can't quite bring it under his spell. From Samet, it goes to Sharuma. He nips inside. He's held on to it despite arguably 3 fouls. Young kept going though, and he won it eventually, only to lose it back as Sharuma puts an almighty nutmeg on Young.
Just extracting the urine at this point there, Sharuma.
He had a few choice words at the time as well. Young eventually gets the foul. Cutting a pretty frustrated figure is Young. Sharuma, quite the opposite.
I think one of them is enjoying it a bit more than the other.
Very, very much so. I don't think he'd be short of a bit of banter, I don't think, these boys.
A bit of swagger on the pitch from them, and why not? They have been pretty impressive.
So it's Hoy over this one as well as Collard. He plays it short, does Collard. Finds Hoy, nudges it back for Collard and back for Hoy. They just play it around each other and then lose it as McGregor looks to burst away, only as far as Mearns. Oh, almost at the edge of the box. It's just blocked by Stevens and he heaves clear. Oh, a nice little spin by Collard. Unfortunately, the line beats him to it. It's out of play for a throw-in.
The referee is signalling Olympia throw, even though Collard had actually left it, assuming, presumably knowledgeably, that it was meant to be a Taroona throw, so I think he got that one wrong. Collard certainly was surprised. He was moving back to Vence, but very much going through the motions here. As a substitution is going to be made for Taroona here. You get the team sheet, Gilly.
Stevens off and on comes Lutmer, the veteran that is Hugo Lutmer, a legend.
Just having a run out here in the last 15 minutes and hopefully can add a bit of bite there to the midfield, because at the moment Olympia are just toying with them in and around the area. They don't look particularly fussed, and they almost play themselves into trouble here, and they do. Sharuma forces the turnover. Ball Sam back to Sharuma. We're looking to find Sharuma in the box, couldn't quite do it, and still working hard is Sharuma. He hasn't given up the chase. They want a 6th goal. They love scoring, these guys, and they don't look done. Summit back to Farquhar. Vandermate. Now Collard. Bellini. Oh, fancy little look away, leave the ball there. Remember Sharuma, they have pulled out all the tricks today. And again, Olympia just content to go back. They're just playing out time, really, the game. Well, it's truly in their pocket, and they'd just be happy to get through these last few minutes without injury, as this one is now launched forward. Onto Hoy with a silky touch, and he's quickly cutting inside and shaping to shoot again. It's Hoy! Oh, Gavin Hoy, but the offside flag is raised. Would you believe it? He's been denied a wonder goal by the offside flag. I don't think anyone's actually realised it. But now it's dawned on a few. The crowd certainly weren't aware.
I don't know what's going on here.
I'm confused, actually, because there's no way he could have been offside.
I'm not sure what's going on there.
The flag was raised immediately, but
Very confusing. It'll be a substitution nonetheless.
oh, perhaps they'd signalled for the substitution. They started playing. Because they're making a sub now. Perhaps they'd ordered the sub and they played. And they were meant to have a stoppage that's been brought back.
On comes Jacob Lehman and off comes Joel Salmon.
Either way, Gavin Hoy's just been denied a spectacular goal.
It was an absolute screamer from Hoy.
He scored a few today, which have been a little bit lucky, a couple of them, but jeez.
Real FIFA vibes to the way he's been slotting them today.
Real
They're
FIFA
just
vibes when you edit the settings and turn shooting error down to 30 from him. You can just have a dip from 30 yards and steer him in the corners.
And they just managed to curl in, don't they?
Yeah, he's just been finessing him into the corner at will. And if that is a sign of things to come, the Hoy striker experiment might just be a thing here to stay.
Very much so. As ball. Sam goes over the top for Tommy Bellini. He can't hold on to it, and it's out of play for a goal kick. So it looked like a goal, but it wasn't.
I'd genuinely love to know why it isn't. I'm a little bit confused. The flag was raised. He had it straight up in the air, and it was there for a while. No one really realised, because it just didn't seem like it was possible to be offside. So I think maybe the signal for the sub, I'm not sure. Either way, at 5-0, it's really just robbed Gavin Hoy of a spectacular goal, but it's got no real bearing on the game. And here's Hoy again with a silky touch. Will he cut inside and shoot again? He might just do it. This time he's got 3 men looking to close him down. Here's Sharuma. Goes to Adawu. Adawu to Mearns. Mearns strikes it with a beautiful pass. He's great range of passing to Hoy. Hoy with a lovely little pass in there, looking to play a 1-2 with Sharuma. And something that Sharuma's done really well, which probably wouldn't say would be make the highlights reels, but he's forced turnovers. He's hunted, he's pressed, and a lot of the time Taroona have turned the ball over as a direct result of Sharuma just hustling there. And the work rate's been really impressive from him today.
Very good. They've all looked very, very good. They've done nothing to dispel the rumour that Olympia are going to be a massive force this season. They've looked excellent, really. And they're only going to get better with more games under their belt together, really, aren't they? Team chemistry probably at the lower end of things at the moment, but some of the link-up stuff with Hoy in particular has been superb as the substitute Lehman gets involved, goes back for Farquhar. Lord Farquhar of Shrek fame.
Slightly taller.
Slightly different frame.
Rather different
Comes
frame.
forward for Tommy Bellini. Oh, it's a nice ball. He's picked out Hoy to perfection. Hoy couldn't quite bring it down for himself. It's Tubb who steals. Finds a teammate. Hoy harasses. They get away with it. It's Young now. Back for McGregor. Cut off by Collard. He's got Sharuma offering. Ignores him. Goes inside for Hoy. He's closed down. Back from Collard to Lehman, who's bobbed on. He whips it into the back post. It's a superb ball, but Wadawu's offside.
Again, the offside flag proving the bane for Olympia a couple of times for them in recent moments. 84 minutes gone, so not long left here, KG5. The day started rather inauspiciously for the Warriors. All involved really with the game being moved, but it's worked out quite nicely for them in the end. It's been a very dominant display and will absolutely do that tag as title favourites. No harm as this one's lobbed over the top. Looking for Shiruma. Here's Gavin Hoy, who's starting to drop a little bit deeper now, and why not when you can fire the ball in from 30 yards like he does. It's a pretty poor ball. Straight to Farquhar. And again, we'll spin and turn back to Jake Vandermeer, the captain. There's been the usual pillar of strength at the back. Mearns with a lovely pass. Shiruma, Collard, Shiruma, Borbor Sam. The overlapping run was coming there from Bellini. Couldn't quite pick him out. Shiruma looks to shape inside, but well defended there by the frontman, who's fought hard today. Has had very little service. Not a day you'd want to be a striker in this Taroona team. Here's Mearns. Bellini, Collard, Mearns back to Collard. And just patiently strike him out in the back heels. The fancy play, it's been a feature all day. They've really unlocked this defence as he curls one to the far post, but it was never looking particularly lightly from Collard. So obviously the big season launch coming Friday night, Olympia and South Hobart. We've had a look at both teams over the last 2 days. Gilly, what are your thoughts looking forward to Friday night?
We've seen both teams, as you said. We saw South Hobart up against a very good Launceston City, actually. I came away quite bullish about their season. I think, you know, in terms of preparation, they're underdone in comparison to a South Hobart or Olympia, but geez, I got plenty out of that. As Taroona look to ignite an attack down the right flank. They nip inside. Bellini gets in a timely boot. It falls for Lutmer, but all he can do is nudge helplessly out in front of Paradisus. More or less a shirt front from Young. A frustrated figure he is. Thrown out rather by Paradisus for Bellini to Shiruma. He finds some rumour, puts it forward, and it's cleared by Cherry. Shiruma again, he's everywhere. But I just think it's going to be a great game, to be honest. South Hobart, they know each other back to front at the moment. I'd say that's the advantage they have over Olympia. In terms of names on paper, it's tough to look past Olympia. They're just looking so damn good. The likes of Hoy is now more of a luxury player than like a key cog, where he was one of the key pillars in their team last year. He's now a cherry on top, and he has the flexibility to just go about his business up top as it comes into the box. Lutmer's there. He gives it straight to Hoy. Can't get through the big Lutmer, though. He wins it back for an instant. It can't. There he is, as it's taken off him by Lehman. Heaved clear by Sharp. Collard comes in. Young is shown a second yellow and a red. And the boys come in. And Darwin not happy. There's plenty of words being exchanged right now. But I would say, as a justified red card for Tom Young, he was playing on the edge.
That was a fairly dirty foul, really. It was a late one. It was unnecessary in the 89th minute of the game. He's on a yellow. He can have no complaints. And really, at 5-0 with the final minute of the game, there's no need to fly in like that. It just hacks him down from behind. And perhaps an overreaction a little bit from the Olympia boys, and then it all sparked from there. And the referee's dealt with it. He's given the yellow card. He sent him off. That should be it, really. So, fairly ugly ending to the game, but They certainly launched the defence, and I'm not entirely sure. Well, I'm a little bit confused here because unless my eyes deceive me, the red card definitely came out, did it not, Gil?
I'm very confused right now because
Still
Tom
on the
Young
pitch.
has not left the pitch.
I'm very confused. Nine. I'm confused, Gil.
I have no idea what just happened.
This is, well, it's Croatia versus Australia at 2006 World Cup all over again. Is he going to show him a third yellow before he sends him off? But I'm somewhat confused. Did he retract the card? Like,
I think he might have rescinded it. I don't know. We'll need clarification on that. Not that we'll give it to you on the broadcast, but yeah, that was really strange. I was midway through typing the fact there was a red card.
Well, a strange ending to what's been a pretty interesting game.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's not going to affect anything at all. But
If Tom Young was on a yellow card, though, I thought that was a yellow card offence.
maybe he wasn't on a yellow.
Yeah, that's my confusion. Maybe he wasn't on a yellow already.
I think that must have been the case. He probably assumed he was. He's shown him the yellow and then the red think he was, and they gone, oh, hang on a second.
Yeah.
You're not in the book.
Very confusing. The ball comes to Hoy now at the edge of the box. But he was playing on the edge, wasn't he, Tom
he
Young?
was.
Fired up customer.
He's been a very frustrated figure. He's had very little service up there today, you've got to say. So we tip into the added time here, not long left. Olympia will advance to the quarterfinals as many expected. And be very surprised if they're not right in the thick of it. Semi-final and final time, really. This is a team that have got their eyes firmly set on the national stage, and this was the first step on that journey, and you got to say it's been a very strong right foot being planted forward.
Mearns and Lutmer collide for it out on that right flank. Well, they might be in a bit of trouble here, Taroona. No, they come out okay, but it's last off them, so it'll be a throw in. You'd think mere seconds remain in this one. As a cold chill comes through the grandstand here at KG5.
Yeah.
Not the warmest.
Although warmer than where we were earlier, I think.
Yeah, exactly right.
It was exactly beautiful weather down at Taroona, that's for sure.
A strange old situation, but the game's gone ahead, and it's been a good game as far as Olympia are concerned. They've been very, very good. As Cordain gets by one, can't thread the needle. Vandermeer more or less just waltzes away. Puts it out in front of Sharuma. He might just lead him on a merry dance here. He's got one to beat. Second comes in, and that support pays dividends for Taroona as they see it out. It'll be last chance, you'd think, here.
Yeah, the keeper will just gather that one, and you got to think that the whistle's going to go soon. He launches that one long, straight onto the head of Farquhar, nods it down. Wadawu, he's Mearns. Bobo Sam, can he get the goal he wants? He's going to take him on, I think. He's still going. He looks to turn. And he plays in Sharuma, the cross to Wadawu. He put it straight down the keeper's throat. Couldn't quite put the cherry on top and make it 6-0. But it's been a pretty good performance today, Warren Wadawu. But couldn't quite get another goal. Was very composed with the finish earlier. Probably could have had 3 or 4 on another day, Warren Wadawu. As the whistle goes and brings to an end a dominant victory for the Olympia Warriors. They have delivered on the pre-season hype with a comfortable 5-0 win, and will go into the season opener on Friday night filled with confidence.
A strange old situation from moving the game to having it here at KG5. The game went ahead, and it was a good one, particularly for the Olympia FC Warriors. Their new recruits strutted their stuff and applied themselves very well. Sharuma scoring a goal, Collard scoring a sizzler, And Ball just being a nuisance out on that wing. Unfortunately, couldn't get on the score sheet, but Gavin Hoy was probably the star of the show. He netted 2 and was probably robbed of a third for offside, which we're still not too sure about. But a tremendous performance from Olympia FC Warriors. As you say, they deliver on their pre-season hype and look like the team to beat. And not just this competition, but potentially NPL Tasmania, which kicks off on Friday night. That's when you'll hear from us next, Rooster.
Looking forward to it already, Gilly.
Friday night under lights, Olympia FC Warriors up against South Hobart. Do join us then. For all news and information, head to Football Fed Taz on Twitter and Facebook or sliceofcheese.net. Bye for now.